It's Friday, April 12th, 2024. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. I want to start this video today. We have a lot to talk about, but really, really quickly, I want to talk about this because this is, to me, very, very important, and I think a lot of you can relate to it. Most of you know Mimi. She had an emergency yesterday. She went for a walk, and midway through the walk, went lifeless, limp, and rushed to the vets, and they figured that it was that she had went into anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock. How could this happen? We thought maybe she ate something, maybe some fertilizer on the golf course, maybe some weed spray. Who knows, right? She goes limp halfway through the walk, lifeless. She's at the vets. They determine, that she's in shock. Get her up on the IVs, medicines, all this stuff. Anyways, early afternoon, she becomes responsive again. Yesterday, late afternoon, she's alert. We pick her up. She seems to be doing much better. Yesterday evening, she began eating again. So she just got her second little IV drip today. And I will tell you, please keep her in your prayers. But she's bouncing off the walls now. She's eating. She literally seems back to normal. But I bring this up because, first off, I'm an animal lover. We love our animals as like kids. And anyways, there's Memers. There's her little IV bandage. I bring this up because first off, you just freak out, but then you get the bill for all this, right? And this is not cheap. And I'm thinking most people, half this country doesn't have $400 saved up. The bill for Mimi is well over $400, and I definitely think that a lot of these vets charge way too much, highway robbery in my opinion. But needless to say, the bill is paid. Mimi's doing great. She's going to be fine. Keep her in your prayers. But we're just happy to have her back at full capacity, and she's doing great. But what about the family or the individual who doesn't have the money to pay for that bill? What do? Because they're not going to take you on as a charity case. That's not how they work. And it's really, really sad. And I thought, I'm a very personal, private person. I don't really put too much of my family business out there, but I wanted to talk about this because people are going to have these type of experiences. Emergencies are going to come up and they're broke, and they're going to have real serious decisions to make. They're going to come to a fork in the road, and they're going to have to make a choice. What are they going to do? What would somebody do if they're flat broke and they don't have the money to save their dog's life? And again, this was not cheap, but there's cases where it could have been a lot more expensive. Like if she did not improve today, she'd still be there, under 24-hour watch, more IVs, more drugs, and the meter's running. So luckily it wasn't more than it was, but it was still a decent amount of money. And a lot of people would not be able to afford to pay this. And so I think about this, and this is why for years I told people, make sure that you work in the side hustle. Make sure you're putting cash reserves away. Make sure you're getting the debts paid down, because, you're going to have an emergency at some point. Could be your car breaking down, a transmission, could be your refrigerator breaking, your air conditioning breaking at the house, your kid falling down needing 30 stitches at urgent care. Emergencies happen. Some are less than others. Some are more than others. But most emergencies now are more than $400. Mimi's emergency was well over $400 yesterday. It's not going to change our life, but it might have changed somebody else's life. So I just thought about that today, and I wanted to share that with everybody. You got to be building up the war chest. You got to be building up reserves, because whether you want to admit it or not, everybody's going to have an emergency in their life. And you've got to be prepared for these emergencies. The economy is absolutely collapsing. We have so much to talk about today, but just a quick update. Mimi's done with her IVs. She's done. I think by tomorrow she'll be at 100%. She's at 90% right now. She's happy to be home, and we're happy that she's doing phenomenal. She's going to have a long, healthy life. Now, really quick, how did they think this happened? They thought that first off it might have been a bee or a wasp. They couldn't find a stinger. Then they said, possibly now a spider. Some sort of insect she had an allergic reaction to, and it was as simple as that. So that's how quickly things can change, how quickly your day can change like that. So whatever it was, it seems to be out of her system. She's back to normal. Tomorrow she'll be at 100%. Keep her in your prayers. But we have a lot to talk about today on this hot Friday. I'm indoors. It's 100 degrees outside. We have a very, very big show today. A lot to talk about on this hot Friday, April 12th, 2024. Let's get into it. So let's get into some of this today. Texas Silver, check out his channel. He had Bill Holter on last night. He got to show up a little late, but it was really, really good. Texas Silver, Bill Holter is the special guest. He's going to do, I believe, a 3-part series. So this is part 1. Part 2 is on Sunday, but go to Texas Silver, check it out. Aaron asked Bill a lot of questions. I think it's a really informative interview, so check that out. Show them some love. These guys are walking the walk, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody walking the walk, I'm going to support. These guys are walking the walk, so check it out. A really good interview. Now shifting to another YouTube channel, Appalachia's Homestead. Very, very good channel. Another person walking the walk. I like Patera a lot because she keeps it real. She's not, trying to sell you something every day. She's not trying to be fake. This is a woman walking the walk. This video that she did a couple days ago, I think yesterday or the day before, I saw it yesterday. But she gave me a shout out. Thank you, Patera, for the shout out. I'm going to give her one right back. Make sure you check out Appalachia's Homestead. Very, very good channel. But I noted a few things from the show that I watched yesterday. And she talked about when you make massive changes, people notice. And I agree with that 100%. When you're not hanging out at the bars, you're not going to the parties, you're not hanging out with the clique, you're spending more time, maybe working on your garden, more time at the gym, more time in boxing, more time in jiu-jitsu. People begin to notice that you're going against the grain, that you're not with the herd anymore. You're doing something to be more self-reliant. And that was one of her points in the video, is to become more self-reliant. Learn how to protect yourself. Listen to what God is telling you. And this is, she's referring to Noah's Ark. Look, we're not building a boat, but we're building our own ark. And what is that ark? It's preparation. It's being more self-reliant. It's having skills. It's knowing how to do things. Maybe learning how to plant a garden. Learning how to cook certain types of food, to preserve certain types of foods, to grow certain types of foods. This is stuff that just 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, when I was talking about this stuff, people thought I was nuts. Now today in 2024, people don't think I'm so nuts. But as Patera pointed out, people are now beginning to listen. People aren't mocking people like her as much. They're not mocking people like me as much. In fact, many people have apologized. She mentioned that yesterday in the video, that she's gotten letters. People have written her and apologized that, hey, you're not crazy. This stuff is actually happening. She went on to say, let them mock you. And I say, yeah, let people mock you, because most people now, again, they're not mocking so much. They're not making fun of people like us or like you or like Patera now, because this stuff is coming to fruition and people know it. And now people are getting scared. Continue to stay on path. And she made a great point here, and I've said this 100 times. The people mocking you, the people making fun of you, are the most afraid. They are the most afraid people right now. And these are the people that continue to mock and clown around and joke and laugh at all this stuff. They are the ones that are actually very, very afraid. I sleep great at night. I get my 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. I try to eat really well. I'm working out. I'm trying to, just be as stress-free as possible, even with everything that is going on. But I don't run around, paranoid or afraid or anything like that, because I'm a prepared person, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Patera said they're scared to death. Don't let people derail your preparations. Be humble. Do the best that you can do. And I think that's great advice right there. Look, you may not have $1 million, but do what you can do. But doing nothing is going to guarantee you lose. Doing a little already separates you from the crowd. It already allows you a better chance. You're already putting some odds in your favor. So a real good video. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but in closing, she says time is of the essence, and time is one of the most critical, valuable assets that we have. Use it wisely, ladies and gentlemen. Patera, thank you. Appalachia's Homestead, check out the channel. And for the people that have come over from that channel, thank you so much. Now let's talk about what happened today. Dow Jones down 475 points as JP Morgan slides and inflation fears flare up. JP Morgan stock down about 6.5% today. Gold hit another record high today. This was absolutely bizarre. I'm going to say bizarre today. Depending where you're watching the metals, I was watching it on CNBC, and gold, they had gold at 24.50 before it pulled back to around 23.60 as I make this video. That is a huge, I mean, we're talking literally $100 down from the high today. Silver hit 28.65 before pulling back to $28. We got the 10-year at 4.51, oil at 43 cents to 85.45, and things are really escalating in the Middle East. And you know, anybody out there that says that oil isn't going to $100 a barrel this summer, I think you better be taking advice from somebody else, because all it's going to take is one rocket, one pipeline to burst in flames, and you're going to see $100 oil. Jamie Dimon warns that inflation, wars, and Fed policy pose major threats ahead. He said an unsettling global landscape, including terrible wars and violence, is one such factor introducing uncertainty into JP Morgan's business and the broader economy. Now, a lot is happening in the Middle East and other parts of the globe, but my question to all of you, please feel free to comment if you want, keep the comments coming, but what's going to happen when those wars and that terrible violence begin to hit home right here? Things that are escalating right now in the Middle East, the blowback is coming to America. And most of you know that, most of you are aware of that. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The further we go in to this war in the Middle East, the chances of things happening right here on U.S. soil are going to go up tenfold for sure. They have people here now. The FBI has been warning you. So heed the warnings, ladies and gentlemen. U.S. crude oil gains to over $85 a barrel as Israel reportedly prepares for attack by Iran this weekend. This is also on CNBC. I also say this, be extremely careful in large crowds. If you're going to be in large crowds this weekend, they're talking about retaliating against Israel this weekend. Could be today, could be tonight, could be tomorrow. We don't know, but that's what they're saying. You don't know what could happen right here on U.S. soil. Be careful. Be extremely careful. Have your head on a swivel. Exercise situational awareness. If things start happening over there and this thing escalates, they're already warning that things are going to happen right here. So be extremely cautious wherever you're at. Here's one from the Wall Street Journal. U.S. moves warships to defend Israel in case of an Iranian attack. I don't think we've ever been closer to World War III than where we're at right now today. We have 2 destroyers ready to go over there. And look, anything can happen. And if things do happen, then prepare for retaliation right here in America. Iran says if U.S. interferes in retaliation on Israel, American bases will be struck. If you're watching the news, 50 missiles from Lebanon were shot into Israel. Their Iron Dome shot them down. But again, I mean, this thing is getting out of control. And so you saw the massive uncertainty in the markets today with gold and silver going way up and then way down. I do believe that they're going to go right back up. Israel right now is getting their hospitals prepared, getting their staff prepared, because they truly do believe that something's going to happen. And markets today, I think, believe that something's about to happen too. Here's another one from The Hedge. Pushed up by central banks. Bank of America sees gold at $3,000. UBS sees it at $4,000. And Goldman sees it at $2,700. I know some people today who made some very, very sizable purchases with this little pullback that we had. I've been saying for years that everybody should own some of this stuff. It'll never be worth zero. And when things get volatile, when there is uncertainty, when there is war, when there is economic collapse, you're going to see metals skyrocket, and that's what they have been doing. And if you believe that things are going to get worse, if you believe that the dollar is going to get weaker, if you believe that we're going to see more wars, more uncertainty, more weak leadership, more debt, more deficits, then I don't know what you're waiting for. I would be definitely, probably purchasing some gold and silver, especially with this little pullback. Look, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. But I think we're going to see higher highs, and we're going to see higher lows. So take it for what it is. If you need anything, check out my link down below, SD Bullion, reputable place to be buying. I know some people today that went to SD Bullion and made very, very sizable purchases. This very, very interesting 18-wheeler truck intentionally plows into Texas Department of Safety building. Multiple serious injuries. Comment down below. What was this? Who was this? Why did this happen? It says here, we believe this to be a criminal act. Washington County Sheriff Otto Hannock. That's what he said. We believe this to be a criminal act. Was it more than just a criminal act? I don't know. Comment down below, but isn't this strange? Another one today from the hedge. Central banks are buying the gold top. When I was watching Texas Silver yesterday with Bill Holter, they talked about prices of gold and silver skyrocketing. And why is that? And Bill said it's not because of Americans buying gold. He said it's because of central banks buying gold. I truly believe that to be 100% true. Central banks are buying massive amounts of gold. They're backing up the truck, and this is pushing the prices up. And they are smash buying more. They don't care that they're buying at all-time highs. They are fortifying themselves against a global monetary and financial blow-up. Be your own central bank. Bill Holter talked about this yesterday. Be your own central bank. Prepare for a global monetary and financial blow-up, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is probably, and I've said this time and time again, this is probably today the most important time you should be owning gold and silver. Have some cash put away, have food, have water, have a way to protect all this stuff. Security, to me, next to God, is your number one asset. The People's Bank of China announced its gold reserve data for March. They added an additional 160,000 ounces of silver. What do they know that the average American does not know? Here's another one from the hedge today. Americans now worry about out of control power bill inflation. I think like that Americans better worry about that, but I think that they better worry about a lot more than just their electricity bill. We're in very, very big trouble. Tens of millions of Americans are having trouble paying their power bills as residential electricity continues to run rampant. But there's other things that people better worry about. You better worry about food. You better worry about security. You better worry about your jobs. You better worry about the assaults on America that are coming, especially if things escalate over there in the Middle East. You better worry about gas prices, inflation, home affordability, and your safety. You know, all these people talking about like how are they going to make it to football season, that they're going to have to watch other sports, and oh my goodness, I just can't wait till football season gets here, and we're just going to have to get by till football season gets here. Think about how ridiculous you look. I mean, I have nothing against sports. But your country is in very, very big trouble. Your safety may be in big trouble. Your retirements are in trouble. Your purchasing power, your standard of living, it's all in trouble. That's just a fact. There are so many problems now affecting the average household in America, and yet people want to talk about football. Football ain't going to save your life, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to save your country, I can tell you that. You better stop worrying about other adult men running around with a football. You better start worrying about your own adult life. These organizations, baseball, football, basketball, they slapped you in the face so many times. They don't care about you. They disrespect the flag, the military, the police. I don't know why anybody would give them 1 cent of money or 1 second of their time. Take your money and your time and start investing in this country and caring about this country. and making yourself more independent, more self-reliant. Maybe get out of the system. I love these bozos who, 6 months or a year ago told you, oh yeah, you should have your money in a bank. Just make sure it's in, multiple banks. Now these bozos are telling you to get all your money out of the bank. We all knew the banks were corrupt. We all knew the banks were in trouble years ago. And I said years ago, only keep in the bank what you need to pay for your bills. That's it. Otherwise, have it out, have it in other places. Have it in other assets too. Have your cash, your monopoly money in other assets. If the banks were in trouble years ago, if the banks were corrupt years ago, why would you want your money in 3 of them? I would say, like I've said years ago, get your money out of all of them. They're corrupt, they're in trouble, they're bankrupt, they're going down. Why would you have your money in 3 different banks? Get your money out of all 3 of those banks and be your own central bank. And now some of these bozos are actually now, I guess, waking up and telling you to get your money out of the bank, which I've been saying to do for years. Be your own central bank. Get out of the system the best that you can. Yes, you have to have a bank if you have business. You have to have a bank if you're paying bills. I get it. Have enough in there to do that. But if you don't need to have any more in the bank than you have to, just have the minimum in there. That's it. I've been saying that for years. I'm going to continue to hold to that. That's what I believe in. You can do whatever you want. But again, if the banks are in trouble, if the banks are corrupt and criminal, if you believe that the banking system is evil, why would you have your money in 3 banks, in 3 different evil entities? Get it out. I just don't understand how some of these people think. Be your own central bank. So as we head into the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, please be careful out there. Please pray for this country. I don't really personally even know who's running the country at this point. And it really, really scares me. It concerns me. You never know what you're going to wake up to. I mean, to wake up to this mess that we got on Wall Street today and seeing the volatility, I've never seen metals go up that high and come down that fast. But this is absolutely getting out of control. You need to be preparing ASAP. God bless every one of you. Stay safe. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I pray to God that I'm making a video tomorrow and talking with all of you tomorrow. You just never know what another day can bring. So make sure that you thank God for everything you have. Thank God for another day of life. We thank God that Mimi has another day of life. You never know how quick your life can change because a family member, your child, your pets, a friend, a parent, something can happen. Yourself, anything can happen in a split second. This country's in big, big trouble. Big threats are coming. Physical threats, financial threats, spiritual threats are coming for America. They're knocking at the door right now. So make a choice. You're going to be a victim or you're going to stand up and protect this country and protect your family, which I highly advise that you do. You're not going to do it watching football games or sitting on the couch. Get prepared, get ready, get trained. Keep prepping, keep doing what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for all the support, all the love, all the prayers. God bless.